I don't think we got sound. Just tell them we'll be right back. No, not on YouTube. I don't think we got sound. Just tell them we'll be right back. No, not on YouTube.
Testing. Yeah, I think we got it back up and running. Maybe it's... Yeah, you can hear me just fine. Yeah, I hear myself just fine on it, so. Okay. Yep, let's go. It's back up and running. Let's see if we get the audio errors fixed. Get this live stream back up and running. Here we go. Sorry for the frame rate issues, guys. Right now, we're currently just getting the frames set back up, get the video back up and feeding here. And we're back up. Here we go. Let's get down and race and head on the track. Arm down hard as we bring them down through the sections and right through the inner ways. We will see Joshua Fix take the early lead. After going over the high side line right out of the gate, I'm going to try to fight down with that number 14 driver right there on his tail end as they move back to the field. And a roll back through is the number 22 there, Avant, up on the outside lane, trying to power through and trying to get some momentum bureauing through the speeds here. Not sure what's going on with our standing seats, our timer here. We'll see if we can get that standing ticker fixed here. There we go. We got it back up running here. Driver has taken the lead there. Fix has now moved on back. Weston Castillo right now having a good little tussle as they're moving their way back into the mix here with Vaught right there on the line, on the inside. You see him right down your corner panel. Everybody jockeying for position now in that mix. Mid-pack Madness has been engaged here onto the circuit down off of turn number 2. That is Pottle, Hill, Henry, Bell, Corley, Widener, and Horn all in the mix. All with a great run there right out of the shot. Yellow is out on the track. Looks like some problems on the track and some debris being left behind there. I believe that might be the 99 of Riley Puddle that has left the caution on the track. Looks like we will see Castillo go into pit road here. The field right now just kind of getting themselves squared up here, going to get themselves paced about. Palmetto Racing League here. The first time we have ever been brought to the table here on the track with these guys and seeing them on here on the show. Good field of lineup of drivers here from the hard chargers to the rookies feeding their way to some of the guys that are just not quite in that past the amateur status, but still figuring everything out around here. They will definitely be ones to watch out for as we continue through this season of racing. We're going to go ahead and tow them on the line here and get them squared back up here. We should be getting ready to get back to the green here in just a minute. Driver will lead them. Have Fixed, West, Vaught, and Pottle up in our top 5 bracket right now. Those 5 you're definitely going to need to keep your eye on here. Vaught and Pottle, well known here on the show. They have been ones to be completely in the running and in the fight. They're definitely looking to shoot it out quick here. Here we go. Should be going green this next time on by here. Pace truck is off the field and off the pace. Rolling right through, down off of turn number 4. And sending it back to the green flag. Speed charge them down, and they're going here through the turn. Set them up. Heartbreaking zone down there to the corner. The 36 of West will jump right one step ahead there of the number 83 there Fixed. Actual Fixed kind of scrapped up on that lane section there. Now having to try to find his way back around West here. These AI guys, man, you keep giving it to them, and that's what you see right there. It's Fixed, drives it hard down the inside. Big run off on from the 83. He'll make the move off and get right step ahead. West nowhere to go and getting clambered back behind the throttle Pottles. He is now looking for some position as a jockey for the run. Vaught now moving into the 4th spot as well. Down the lanes into the chicanes here. Every driver here now getting a feel for the track and again their braking points set. Again, the biggest thing you got to watch out here in Martinsville is that these braking points are going to be different for everybody. Everyone's going to have fresher tires versus the older tires and the brand new sets. When you don't have any rubber on that track, out of the gate, it's a slippery little slope to have to transfer in from that asphalt side to then go into the concrete side. And that concrete makes a big difference because not only does it offer less grip, but it also makes it just a little bit less stable and ends up throwing you in for a bit of a curve, especially when you transition to the asphalt end. Speed off the exit is very crucial, as you can see. Some of the other factors that make Martinsville so famous around these parts of town. The old bumping and beating and banging around this kind of time. A 1 right now of Henry is going mano-a-mano there with Vaught. Vaught is doing whatever he can to keep him at bay. Leading him down on around off the corners here. Everybody right now going to now maneuver their way through. A bit of a problem down there for Riley. Riley in a bit of a mix-up here. Gets going down the number 1 there. Oh, and we'll need to see a replay of that. I think it could catch a good glimpse of that one. The 95, unfortunately, of Corley getting absolutely booted, shoved, and scrubbed into a retainer wall. And Matt and Corley now are going to have to try to figure out what the heck to do about that. Here comes the instant replay here, folks. We're going to look at it here. So again, what we saw going on that front straightaway, you saw Pottle coming to a dead stop. Looks like problems with the motor or maybe the ignition stopped on him. And the next thing you know, well, it was not pretty. Right there around, bam, their whole rear end collapsed and collapsed. Destroyed on impact. Definitely a tough get under that boot there. I guarantee you he'll be probably shaking that one off, but what a hit. That 495 had to go through there. Well, after some mid-pack madness and a little bit of some grappling and racing, or old grassroots racing, if you will, it's time now to re-rack, restack, and put them both back on the attack. Lot of drivers in pit road right now, currently getting some fresh sets of tires or getting themselves squared up for the run ahead. You got to think too, timing around here is going to be so crucial. It's so difficult to nail down because again, you can only go so far in these runs before eventually you wear and tear up those tires too much. Those braking points become a lot harder to actually nail down. And basically at that point, you're basically pushing that car or truck, I should say, way too far and way too into an issue here. I guess we're going to see an old little rivalry renewed here as well as Pottle and Shriver will go mano a mano again. We've seen these two go at it plenty of times before. They seem to just absolutely take it to one another, no matter what track and no matter what position. So watch out for those two when they get this restart going. But I've got a feeling with old West down there and Sullenberger as well, those are going to be some tough names to be on the lookout. Castillo and Horn as well, not too shabby so far from what we've seen. All about timing and execution here. Pace now dropping back in here. Looks like we're getting ready to file them up. The 99 Apollo there getting around the track and to get himself off of the area. As we're getting ready to roll him back to the green this next time on by. Driver, Pottle, West, Stollenberger, Castillo, Horn, Weiner, Henry, Lovasito, and Courtley are your top 10 drivers right now out of the 16 truck field. With only 20 laps now in, it is showtime yet again. Got to get to lap 104 to finish this race. Tighten down those belts, set yourself to the track, and get ready to roll him back off the stack. Green flag, back on out. A good jump there by Pottle, keep him right up there with the 14 as they roll their way back down off the turn. And again, digging those left rear and left fronts into the ground there. Those tires are going to be taking an absolute beating on the other side of the truck here. Gotta think all the weight is distributed on the right side versus like what you may see on the dirt side with like sprint cars where the weight is distributed on the left side of the wheelbase, allowing them to basically sling them completely sideways. These machines on asphalt, you want to make sure all the weight is distributed to the right and keeps it nice and straight without getting too loose or too out of shape. And one thing is for certain, when you get a little too crazy around these parts of town, things can happen. And if that bumper gets put to good use, well, let's just say old Martinsville has a fun way of having fun with you here. Just like old Bristol when it was running into the bottom and not even worry about that outside lane. Martinsville is exactly like that here. Chantel Pottle coming from the Newfoundland side for Palmetto Racing League here right now. Getting right up there on that 14, and just like that, we were talking about earlier, one little bump, get them loose, move them up, and basically roll them from there. He's looking deep in that outside lane, trying to craft down to the bottom, trying to get him right in the corner and get him off the track, but doesn't seem to carry enough momentum just yet, or maybe just trying to stay off of there. It'd be a little too soon in the race to make enemies or make a problem out of this track, and I guarantee you that's a smart move. Castillo, he's looking on, and he is probably hungrier than ever to try to find some. Whoa! Some spinning. It looks. I'm hearing some grass, and I'm hearing some tires ringing on the path. Old caution out though. Not sure exactly what happened to that 83 there, Joshua Fix, but apparently he had a little bit of a hiccup there down in turn number 3 and 4. Founder of the Palmetto Racing League right now. He is trying to see what he can do with some very heavy hitters and some top guns here. Done a pretty good job there hanging with them and doing what he can. Aaron Vaught, much the same, and I believe right now currently is in the leader spot for the points run. The league starting just a little bit earlier on in the season. And now looking to continue that dogfight there as Pottle is currently his only challenger for that spot. Bit of a long run going here right now, and that's going to definitely play into this race. Again, the longer the run goes, the more those tires are going to burn up. And the more those tires burn up, again, I'm telling you guys, it's going to be a lot harder to get on the brakes and actually steer the truck down to the lane they need and then get back on that gas. Remember, this is a hard braking track, so you need all that tire and that momentum you can carry in order to go through these turns and get the most momentum to get the top spot and honors around these parts. I guarantee you right now they are looking very carefully at that and looking at every little dynamic and situation they're trying to avoid if they can do it here. Castillo and West right now currently in a bit of a rap-to dogfight. Looking to try to get one better on the other. That is your battle for the third spot. And then up ahead, of course, Driver and Pottle still doing their thing. As now Pottle closes that gap there on Driver. Got that nose right into the rear end of the 14. The dead man might be in trouble because the throttle is sending it down from Pottle. Oh, a little bit of an issue down there for Riley Pottle, that 99. A little team stuff comes to a dead stall here. Well, nope, you got it refired there. Thought might be having a little bit of an issue there trying to get the machine back and run, but no, he's okay. This youngster just only getting closer and closer into his racing journey at such an extremely young age. I guarantee you, folks, if you watch out for this kid, man, they'll do something around here in these parts, man. They will tell you they can race with the best of them. They've got a group of support, good family behind them, helping them out. Just figuring out the ways of the race. Oh, but that's not quite what he had in mind, and sends the whole rear end into the into the barrels down there. The sand and water barrels do not give an inch as the caution will fly. Hard wreck there for Riley, but man, the fact that he's getting that thing back out on the track definitely should tell you something here. Stop for the 14. Looks like some fuel and tires are in order. Looks like as well we're going to see Castillo, West, Henry, Widener, Sullenberger, Horn, Bell as well. And it looks like we'll even incorporate Lanarelli here. Time for a little pit stop time down on the track. Going through our live chat feed right now. VB Racing saying go number 22. VB Racing, Palmetto Racing Network saying doing great, guys. Thank you again for tuning on in. Everyone else for tuning on into the show. And not thank you all enough for being able to come by and come out here with us. And not be able to do the show without you either. So our field right now currently getting their tires and fuel in. Looks like some tires and fuel as well going for Pottle. Splash and go and get the tires on to ready to run those good years to life. Going back to the green flag, back on out, and it's stop time again. Aaron Vaught will be your race leader. Joshua Fix will be right there in the second spot. Shriver in the third. Henry and Castillo fourth and fifth respectively. Joshua right now looking at a bit of a different lane here, kind of riding more towards the middle ground there as Vaught kind of taking the line most drivers usually go towards. A little bit wide though, and open that door. You can't open doors like that, especially when there's a thief in the night ready to strike, and Shriver saw the window of opportunity and just snuck himself right in and closed the door right behind him. Big jump and a run on that one, and now moving them back to the chain. Nearly halfway done with this one. Just about another 10 to 11 laps left to complete that. So far, so good here as Vaught continues to hold the lead. Vaught's got to be careful here. He can't overdrive these corners and give any openings here. That's going to be a bit of a troublesome spot there. It could send them into a tailwind. Look at that battle right behind him there as well. We got Henry and Fick. A battle for third going on. Good stuff coming off there. Fourth truck battle now. You got even West, Otto, and Castillo all in that mix and in that hunt. I gotta believe the more and more we run harder and the longer it takes around here, it could make things change on a dime. Yeah, crazy to think right now that Martinsville Speedway here has been just pretty much absolutely hosting a phenomenal amount of racing action throughout the shows and throughout the world. Recently, the Mazda MX-5 Cups here, bringing it to the show. Of course, truck in the NASCAR side, as well as Xfinity racing here later tonight. But right now, you're getting a good look at Palmetto Racing League doing their thing. And even incorporate a couple of them, incorporate the cup drivers here, even why not? So some of the computer cup guys wanted to come by and they said, hey, we want to try and fight with these guys, have a little bit of a tussle, a little bit of fun, and get ready for the big race come Sunday. You can't describe it any better. You just got to go out there and have a little bit of fun with it. Trailing him down right now. Riley going to go into pit road. Looks like he wants to try and get some tires and fuel and maybe some damage repaired on that 99. As they swing him on by right now, it is still Vaught and Stryver going mano a mano here, just trying to get the better of the other. Castillo, Henry, and now looks like even moving up ahead there, Sullenberger and Fix getting into a little bit there off the corner bit. Vaught doing everything he can to kind of keep that 14 at bay, but well, there's one thing they always said about a dead man. You can't keep them down unless you put them 6 feet underground. Vaught right now with a lot of trouble kind of lingering his way here, and he's doing everything he can right through lap traffic around the number 9, Tito. And a bit of a hiccup and a bit of a troublesome spot there. Nowhere to go as the caution drew. So Vaught now into pit road here. Bottles has now even set a little chat in there saying good luck to all drivers here. Thank you again for tuning on in and being able to show up here with us tonight. Big thank you to the sponsors you also see there on the top right hand of your screen there for Palmetto Racing League. They are the ones that have been able to help give these drivers and some time and effort to be able to come out here, perform at a high level and a high risk race. So much at stake here. It's so much on the line. There's absolutely nothing more you can say than just incredible timing and execution for these leagues to be able to come out and at least be able to give these future of our sports a chance and making it to the big leagues and making it to even some crazier times up ahead. We are now ready and rolled up off pit truck, off the gas. Race truck, I should say, off the track. Pulling back down off of turn number 4, the front straightaway, Green's back out, and here we go. Castillo will do what he can to hold the dead man down, but that's not going to be enough. Didn't put enough dirt on that one. Back to the lanes, here comes the throttle bottle, 3 wide, deep down into turn number 3. Fights hard, scratches and claws, and puts Henry and West a little bit behind him. Now trying to get to Castillo. Castillo right now doing what he can to hold on. Meanwhile, right down that back side there, you saw 95 there. A good drive there by Corley. Matt Corley right now doing what he can to kind of make some moves out to get there to Aaron Vaught. Vaught trying to keep everyone back in their play and trying to keep some control under the hood. Horn much in the same condition. And no, that's not short for Hornaday. That is their last name. That is Horn. That is the number 5 of Horn. Doing what they can now, rolling it back through. Watch Aaron Vaught and Joshua Fix right in the mix here. Real world meeting AI, and now the computers are getting a taste what the real world has to play for them. Out on the pace and back to the corners right now, moving their chains up through. Aaron Vaught doing what he can. I get a step up there on Sullenberger as it looks like we've got ourselves a caution out on the track. Caution is indeed out. Going to the Speed Zone TV instant replay. Let's take a look at this here and see what exactly it got us in this little predicament. Right there. Yep, you can see it. There goes the 95. Way too hard down the corner there. Swings a little too wide, and around she goes. A pretty good save, though, all thanks to Stitter, honestly. Give him credit where credit's due. Corley could have absolutely locked that thing, put it right into the wall protection, but no, actually got out of the gas and let the tires kind of turn down, and then got back into the throttle to basically keep it straight. A good move and a good run there. Keep it from going into the danger zone, or as I've always called it, the shadow round. The field now. Getting a good picture and a good look at what is needing to be done here. Time running out, laps winding down. A lot of drivers in pit road. Surprisingly, Shriver, Pottle, and Castillo and Bell deciding to stay out, though. Perhaps they don't see the fuel run yet. They wanted to give it another chance, or maybe they think they will make their runs work better in tune if something else happens here. The problem with doing some risky strategy with your fuel and your tires is you're giving a golden opportunity for other drivers to basically make the big move and make the big jump on you when you have worn yourself down, you worn yourself out, and you have to go into pit road because, well, frankly, without any fuel in that bad boy, how the heck are you supposed to get around a racetrack? It's like in the open world there when you got cars on the track, you got to and cars on the streets, I should say. You're literally going out there, you're driving around somewhere nice, a little bit of a distance or two, and then you realize, wait a minute, did we get the fuel in this thing? Without that fuel, well, let's just say you hope you don't get lost around here. The field now is set to get back to it. Get ready to feel that power and that drive off the line as we're going to bring him down through the run here off of turn number 4 this time by. Interesting moves here. Will the strategy pay off for some or will it cost others? We're about to see. Off turn number 4 now, rolling him down. We got ourselves 39 to the distance. Yet another strong start for the 14 to 06. Still kind of weird to me saying the 06. I'm still used to seeing either the 05 or the 5 for Pottle. That 5 was almost about as reminiscent of what Kyle Larson is these days in that 5 car, as well as even the old greats like Terry Labonte and many more like even Mark Martin having a field day in that 5 car way back when. Now having to change it up in the 06 as we got caution out on the track here. Looks like there's a problem for Joshua Fix. Let's take a look at the replay here. Let's bring it down to Speed Zone TV instant replay. Gonna see exactly what was the dilemma, what was the situation that got us into this. A little deep on the outside. Rolling it back down. Oh, that is a no-go zone there. That's the trouble you run into sometimes. You try to cut down on a driver, someone will say, hey, I'm down here, and the others will say, I'm not moving. I think we could probably name a good couple of drivers these days that have no problem doing that. Some of the best have been known to do that and will not give an inch. Others sometimes will try to be as fair as can be, but if you try pushing them too far, let's just say it doesn't always work out in your favor. Pit stops being made down there for looks like Pommel and Shriver. Castillo and Lenarelli are going to be now jumping up a spot. Bell, Henry, Vaught, Weiner. They're rounded out with the 6 drivers. Ullenberger, West Horn, Hill, top 10. And laps now starting to wind down here. And a big thank you to the sponsors as well there up on the top right hand side of your corner there. Again, this is the reason that this league was able to be kind of formed out here and be able to get us onto the show here as well and get these drivers ready to roll up through and get them some time to take it down to the house. This truck has now lined us double file in. If he gets off the track, that means we're getting ready to set him back out on with the rack. Here we go. Turn number 4 this time on by Castillo and early will lead us down. Green's out. It's time to send him. Castillo will take the early run. Henry and Ellie, Vaught and Bell having a bit of a mix-up. Look out for Vaught down there. He's fighting hard. West in there, 3 wide. Deep off of turn number 4, 3 wide. Martinsville, let's just say that's literally a trap waiting to happen. That's bad news written all over it, but they clear it. Good driving by all drivers involved as they continue to muscle their way through. Sherry giving a number 22, Big A there. A little love. Sherry, thanks for tuning on in. Vaught has now moved into the 3rd spot as they continue to move the chains here. Castillo and Henry. 2nd and 3rd. Aaron Vaught doing what he can right now to try and make a charge off the distance. Looking for momentum, looking for gain. Travel off to the turns. Oh, look out down there off turn number 1 and 2. We've got 3, 4 of them tumped and spun and wrangled around. Well, I'm not sure exactly what happened there. We'll go to the Speed Zone TV instant replay, but all I know is that did not look good. Right now, getting everything set up here to get that replay here. Look like 4 or 5 drivers kind of crossed up or kind of put in a bit of a bad spot there. Virtual world meeting the real world drivers yet again in a bit of a head-on collision. Take a close look at this here. Let's look at it one more time here. Coming down the turn right there. You can see the 4 gives a good tail on the 06, and it looks like Joshua fixed the A3, taking the old 14 of Shriver for a little bit of a hiccup, but Pottle, my opinion, honestly getting the worst of it. A very tough break there for her sim racing 4U number 06 down there. So now that's going to get us grouped back in, bit of a fight back out on the track here. We'll see what these drivers now can bring to the table, but that's definitely going to be a very hard little task there for some of them. As Chantel ended up going into pit road, driver also ending up in there. Joshua Fix looks like he tried to get some damage kind of cleared up and fixed up right now. Castillo, Henry, Vaught, Weiner, and Webb, your top 5. Big thank you again to our sponsors tonight, Working Man Outdoors and VB Racing. Again, big thank you to Working Man Outdoors and VB Racing. Thank you for helping us out here and getting us onto the show, sponsoring here for the trackside as well as for the league. Fans, comment down below. Which one do you think's taking this one on home? Who's going to be able to get to the hot spot? Who's going to be able to take this one to the end of the race? Every zone, every battle, every drive to survive. There is nothing like being here in the virtual world of iRacing. Makes you feel just so alive down there. For the Workman Outdoors and VB Racing, Palmetto Racing League right now. Ready to load up yet again? And Vaught find a way around Castillo and Henry, or will it be Henry finding his way around Castillo? Or will Castillo, maybe he has got the secret and formula to winning this one. Widener also, don't count him out. He's going to be a tough one here. We're going to see. We're going to roll him back off of turn number 3 and 4 here. Driving alongside down off the lanes here. And hustling back down to the green flag. Here we go. 66 at Sullenberger right now, going mano a mano down there with West as they roll them back through. Castillo and Henry side by side still for your race lead. Widener getting a good little jump there on that 22 there. Vaught looking to try to hold him down as we are now 24 laps to go in the speed zone TV side. Checking them off and checking them down off to the lanes here. Right into the mix, Vaught. Oh, he put a little bit of some side fenders down into Henry. Dr. Trevor will agree with that one, but he opened that door up and Vaught just had to take his chance and moved it right up ahead. Castillo losing power right off the lane. He'll take the lead. Aaron Vaught, your new leader here as they now move down to the change here. West Horn and Sullenberger going battling him back there in the mid-pack. It's mid-pack madness yet again here on Speed Zone TV. Oh, and 3 wide through. Where the heck that 14 come from? He was 15th from what our record books are saying just a second ago. And in a matter of 3 or 4 laps, he's now moving the chains. Fresh tires will do that to you. And right now, he looks like he did not want to be put 6 feet under. He doesn't want to be put to rest just yet. Widener and West looking on now. Their battle is going hard here for the 4th spot. Bob starting to get one step away there from Castillo and Henry as they move him further along.
Just doing everything he can right now to get away because he sees what's going on there. The 14, slight nudge there off the corner, but keep it clean. The 37 Winder now trying to deal back.
Leaning him back around now, even the throttle Chantel Bottle, she's also in that mix as well. Got taken for a wild ride there earlier, and now she's trying to gain down for some points travel and some points leading. Wants to get in top spot, but to do so, she's going to have to figure her way around. Oh, that number 22, but that's a little bit of a problem down there. We got one around there. It looks like that's West there, and the number 36, or 35, I should say. Not exactly what happened. You know what we got to do, folks. We're going to the Pete Stone TV instant replay. The Speed Zone TV instant replay. We're heading down there, race fans. Let's take a look at this yet again here. Not exactly sure what happened. We know we saw that 35 on around and at least around the track here. Just another look at it. I'm gonna do a dead stop. Oh. Well, if I'm gonna guess something, it looks like that 14 and the 35 might have had something to do with that caution coming out. See right here. There we go. One more look at it. Right off the corner. Oh! Well, the 36, I should say, not 35. I do apologize for getting the numbers mixed up there. But yeah, that was definitely a hit from the 14 on the 36. Looked like maybe a little too tight off the run. Kind of had to get it out of there. And next thing you know, it went right up into that 36 there, West. And I guarantee you, West can't be a happy camper about that one. A huge drive there for that 14, but unfortunately, that drive also ended up taking somebody around for the line. Field now, right now, looking on with 16 laps to go. Looks like we need to get that timer fixed up there real quick. See what we can do. Try to get the laps back up on our end here. There we go. Hey, when you're live on the scene, folks, trust us when we say it. Anything can happen. Get ready to push that pedal down to the metal once again here. Palmetto Racing League. About to see the Woodland and VB Racing boys be put to good use down on the track. 14 to finish. Who's going to take it? Green's out. Let's find out. Bach will get the early advantage. Henry kind of tripped over and tapped around with the number 14. The dead man is coming. And he is looking to try to get himself one here. Never been to victory lane here in Martinsville. Could that change today? Said earlier on that of all the things, the short track enthusiast, but he's never won here. This is the one track that seems to always on him. Fought, firing hard, trying to scrap down and scrape it down to the bottom of the track, get some run off that lane and hold the 14 down. Everything on the line here and anything can go. But what will it go down for here? Joshua Fix back there as well, getting kind of tangled up there with Sullenberger. Saw down the corner edge of your screen there. Sullenberger and Fix were going mano-a-mano in a dead heat there. But it is your battle for the lead that leads us through. There you see the 66 yet again going at it hard there with Fix as we move him back up. Up on the outside lane, 10 laps left. Henry's looking to close the deal on this one. There's 3 vehicles ready to take the win. But which will it be? Bod doing everything he can to hold down the old dead man. He won't give up though. He's going down that bottom lane. He's trying to block him off, trying to not let him through, but he could be in trouble because now the outside lane is starting to come through a little bit. Hard on the tires. There goes the 14th driver. Big run. Can Bod get back down? Bod loses a lot of speed down there trying to block that bottom lane. He's trying to get more runoff, but he's going way too low, and that's costing him speed off the exit. The 14 not seeing that issue. He's losing a little bit in the turn, but those exits is where he makes the ground up, and some fresh tires help. 8 laps. We've got him running. Your new leader. But, oh, he put the corner panel and the front bumper into the back panel. Went down in trying to find it. No, Costin is out. Costin out, and we got one spot on around. That's the 95 there. Matthew Corley once again, unfortunately, in a bit of a mix-up there. And it's not one of those mix-up to fix-up puzzles, if you will. We're going to go back and take a look at the Speed Zone TV instant replay. We'll take a look here and see what exactly transpired here and what went wrong down on the track side here. Looks like some live issues here on our end. Don't worry, folks, we're going to get those fixed up here. It looks like we can't really get a good view of what's going on down there. It sounds like, from what I'm understanding down there, we might have a broken camera down there, unfortunately. I think we need to maybe check on that operator down there, folks. The operator seems to be, unfortunately, having some issues down on the track. Yeah, it's part of live timing, unfortunately. We'll go ahead and just get him back up and run to our live feed here, as it looks like we're getting ready to finish our race out tonight. Oh, looks like we got it right here. Oh, there it is, right there. You can see. Yep, the 95 got towed around and got taken out there off the corner exit. And unfortunately, just nothing they can do about it. So now bringing us back to our live sheets and live timing. Looks like Pottle going to go into pit road. Lovicho as well. Looking for that last bit of tire and chances here. We're gonna roll them down, starting to wind down, folks, but don't wind down on your television screens or on your cell phones or tablets, whatever you may be watching it from, because we are getting ready to finish this one out. Looks like we're gonna double file them up here. There will be 3 laps to the distance. Does VOD have anything left? Oh, nope, not quite ready yet. Looks like yellow is still out on the track. See the pace truck's lights on there. Driver, Vaught, Widener, Henry, and Stollenberger. Those are the top 5, and Horn in there. As your lone 6-man looking out. Looking to try to bring it in here. What is left from these drivers? Do they have anything they can bring to the table? This time by race fans, we will finish this one out. Opportunities at stake. First time wins on the line. We'll send him on screaming down to our one last drive. Driver going to get that inside lane run off the gate. Bob looking to try to get back on down. Looking to go back underneath him. Driver closes the door. Trying to get one last ditch effort at speed. White flags out this time on by. Motors are roaring and screaming. They are full speed ahead on the RPMs and full drive down to the end. Final set of corners. Bod looked for everything he could. He did what he could to try to hold him down. But for the first time in Martinsville, driver's going to get himself a taste of the grandfather clock. And Paddle with a huge wreck right off of turn number 4. Massive collision sending her to 7th. A massive wreck there out of the gate. A hard break there. But nevertheless, seems to be running okay down on there. Bott, Henry, Widener, and Sullenberger doing whatever they could to put the 14 back down on the ground. But for the first time in his career and getting one monkey off his back in his mind, the 14, the dead man, Christian Driver, will finally check himself to victory lane where our grandfather clock is awaiting for him. What a race. What a phenomenal race here, and a good battle end from all drivers there. Nobody gave an inch, and no one gave out anything less than whatever they could bring to the table. There just wasn't much they can do. It's spotting a little thing on that back too. He said that he wanted to get back into victory lane before this year ends because of what's on the back of that bumper. A fitting tribute to an old friend he lost long ago. He never got to say goodbye. I think this is probably the best tribute for him to have that one last race with him riding on by. An old friend of ours as well. If you can't read what it says on the back of that, it says Hofford Forever in the 84. An old friend of ours to the broadcast network, and to that old friend there, and with many others, it's gone way too soon.
Nevertheless, though, race fans, right? Congratulations to the dead man, Kristen Trevor, for getting it. A big congrats as well to that number 22 of Aaron Vaught and Henry as well. Taking the top 3 on home. We're here joined now here with Joshua Fix here as now he comes off a solid run and a race there for him and his team. Joshua, gotta ask you, man, you came down to the blind, down to the wire there. Things getting a little bit crazy and hectic, but at the end of the day, coming away in a top 10 finish. Gotta talk to me through with this one, sir.
Man, Martinsville's one of them tracks. It's a tough one. Short track, not a lot of room to work with. We had a couple of hiccups there in the beginning. Used the fast repair early on. We ended up having another bump and run, and I think for a majority of the end of the race there, my front quarter panel on the driver's side was flapping in the wind pretty much the last little bit of the race there. But definitely a tough track to work with. The AI doesn't make it easy on you, but we had a pretty good run tonight. I can't complain. I'll take a top 10 finish.
I mean, overall, top 10 finish, nothing to sneeze at. Points race being as tight as it can be. I mean, going into the next set of races here, I gotta believe it's probably at least gonna get a bit of a confidence booster, knowing you got more to come from here in that number 83, huh?
Absolutely. We've had the last 3 to 4 weekends. We've had pretty decent runs. Hitting, I believe it was two fourth place finishes, and then last weekend at Talladega had the third place finish. Had the win on that one. Just mistakes were made and stuff happened. Bumped down to third, but overall good race. I'll take these top 10, top 5 finishes all day long.
All right, well, Joshua, there's always a little bit of piece of business we gotta do around here. Who do you want to thank here for this one tonight?
First of all, I want to thank you guys over at Speed Zone TV for making this thing possible tonight. You guys did phenomenal on short notice. Broadcast looked great. Watched the whole thing. It was amazing. Just want to give you guys a shout out. Of course, next in line would be my drivers in this league. I've got some really good drivers. A lot of them, some of them are newer, just starting out, and they've got a lot of experience in this league that they can learn from. So definitely give all those guys a shout out. They rock. They're amazing.
For sure there. Well, nevertheless, Joshua, we appreciate you coming on by here tonight. Congratulations, bringing it on home in that ninth spot for a top 10 today.
I appreciate it. Y'all have a good evening.
You too. Ladies and gentlemen, your ninth place finisher tonight, the number 83, Joshua Fix. Well, barring anyone else wants to come by and have a little chat with us here are your final race results here. Solid effort there as well from Vaught there and Henry trying to take down the old dead man, but in this case, he wanted to get one off his back and pay one last tribute to an old friend he never got to give one last goodbye to. So a big congratulations there to that number 14 of Driver and Widener and Schollenberger. You got to give them credit too. They fought hard and they fought Kron down to the end. They never gave an inch. They gave what they had to do. Horn and Pottle there. What can you say about them? They did what they needed to do. Pottle even getting wrecked out and still coming home seventh. You got to believe she is absolutely fighting ferociously to get that points lead and championship at the end of the season. And of course, you just heard Joshua Fix, him and Jose, 8th and 9th with the Aussie Greg Hill, kind of finishing out your top 10 there. A lot of young experience as well from this lineup here, and of course, Stanley Pottle Riley Pottle, excuse me, going to be definitely one to watch out for on the track as soon as he gets kind of things figured out. Matthew Corley doing much the same. Did a good job when he needed to and staying out of trouble. That is one of the toughest things you can do, especially in this kind of racing situation. Well, barring anything else, race fans, I think that will all but conclude our show here tonight. Thank you so much for joining us here at Speed Zone TV. A big thank you again to the sponsors here and, of course, to Palmetto Racing League for bringing us on to the show here. Race fans, it's been a pleasure here. We surely hope you have enjoyed it. But until next time, we offer you this. Be safe, take care, God bless you all. Have a great night, rest of your night. From all of us here at Speed Zone TV.